The moment I stepped into her house, sunlight spilling warmly through tall windows and dust motes floating like suspended memories, I knew something was wrong. This was supposed to be a simple dinner invitation from my boss, nothing more than polite hospitality after a long week. But the way her mother's eyes lit up with sudden recognition, the way her father smiled as if he'd been waiting years for this moment, and the way my boss stood beside me with a nervous, hopeful glow on her face made my chest tighten. My heart pounded when she placed a gentle hand on my arm and announced to them, without warning, that I was her boyfriend. In that instant, my life quietly split into a before and an after. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and unexpected turns of fate, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Midnight Tales. Your support keeps these stories alive. My name is Aaron Hale, and until that afternoon, my life was painfully simple. I was a junior project analyst at a mid-sized firm, invisible but dependable, the kind of man people forgot to invite but never forgot to assign work to. My boss, Serena Whitmore, was the opposite, confident, graceful, admired by everyone. She carried herself with calm authority, yet there was always a softness in her eyes, as if she were constantly holding something fragile together inside. We had a strictly professional relationship, built on deadlines, meetings, and polite smiles across conference tables. So when she invited me to dinner at her parents' house during a bright Saturday afternoon, I assumed it was a work-related courtesy, perhaps a cultural tradition I didn't fully understand. Her parents' home was elegant but lived in, filled with ticking clocks, old paintings, and the faint smell of fresh bread. It felt like a place where time slowed down, where memories settled into the walls. As we sat together, her parents watched us with affectionate curiosity, asking gentle questions about my job, my family, my childhood. I tried to answer honestly, though confusion churned in my stomach. Serena stayed close, offering reassuring smiles, occasionally brushing her hand against mine in a way that felt intentional. I didn't understand it, but I didn't pull away either. As the afternoon unfolded, the truth revealed itself not through words but through realization. Serena's parents believed we were together because she had told them so long ago. They were aging, proud, and deeply invested in her happiness. Serena, successful in every professional sense, had quietly failed in the one area they worried about most, love. Somewhere along the way, she had created a story for them, a comforting lie meant to ease their fears. And now, that lie had a face. Mine. I should have been angry. I should have stood up, corrected the misunderstanding, and walked out. But as I watched her mother laugh softly at something I said, as I noticed her father's relaxed posture, relieved and content, I felt something unexpected rise inside me. Compassion. Serena wasn't manipulating me for amusement or ego. She was protecting the people she loved, even if it meant crossing a line. And when I looked at her, really looked at her, I saw fear beneath her composure. Fear of disappointing them. Fear of being alone. Still, the weight of the situation pressed heavily on me. I was a man who had spent most of his life overlooked, suddenly placed at the center of a family's hope. I struggled with the role, with the idea that I was living someone else's story. Yet, over lunch and shared laughter, something shifted. Serena relaxed in a way I had never seen at work. Her smiles became real, unguarded. In the soft daylight, surrounded by the warmth of family, she felt less like my boss and more like a woman desperate to be understood. After that day, nothing returned to normal. At the office, our interactions changed subtly. There was more warmth, more pauses that lingered too long. Guilt sat between us, unspoken but present. We never discussed what had happened, but the silence itself became a conversation. I wrestled with conflicting emotions, resentment for being deceived, pride for being chosen, and a growing affection I didn't want to admit. I questioned my worth constantly. Was I just convenient? A temporary solution to a personal problem? Days passed, filled with quiet reflection. I realized that my entire life, I had waited for someone to see me as enough. And in her complicated, imperfect way, Serena had. Not because I was impressive or charming, but because I was kind, steady, and safe. That realization humbled me. It also scared me. One afternoon, as sunlight streamed through the office windows, I understood that this story wasn't just hers. It was mine too. I had been given a chance, not at romance, but at stepping into my own value. Whether or not this connection turned into love, it had already changed me. I stood taller. I spoke with more confidence. I stopped apologizing for existing. As time moved forward, the tension softened into understanding. We acknowledged the mistake without bitterness. What began as a lie had uncovered a truth neither of us expected, that two people, hiding in plain sight, could find comfort in each other's presence. The future remained uncertain, but it was no longer empty. If this story has touched your heart, reminded you of the power of kindness, or made you believe that second chances can arrive in unexpected forms, please take a moment to like, comment, and share this video. Your engagement means more than you know. And before the ending, a special request: comment, kindness still exists, if you believe small moments can change lives. That afternoon taught me something I will never forget. Sometimes, life doesn't ask for permission before rewriting your role. Sometimes, you are chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are present. And in a world that often overlooks the quiet ones, being seen, even by mistake, can become the beginning of everything.